If you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you feel like you can't budget, this video is for you. I get a lot of comments on social media of people saying, I don't make enough money to budget. I can't budget because I'm paycheck to paycheck. And that's just not true. Budgeting is simply you deciding how you're going to spend your money before you're spending it. So in this video, I want to break down for you how you can budget if you are living paycheck to paycheck. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. My name is Crystal, aka Krys the Maximizer. I am a strategic money coach and I help moms create financial stability through proactive planning and strategic money management. And I know a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, and that is no shame at all. That is the economy. That is how a lot of people are living in the United States. But I also want to share with you that it is possible for you to budget. It's possible for you to decide how you want to spend your money. It's possible for you to better manage your money. And I have 5 tips for you, so let's dig right on in. Tip number 1 is you need to know your numbers. You need to get very in touch with your numbers. Number 1, what's your income? How much do you get paid for the month? And then break that down per paycheck. You also need to know your bills, anything with a due date. So think rent, mortgage, car payment, car insurance, phone bill, Netflix, Hulu, your kids' dance practice, whatever. You need to write down everything that has a due date, the amount that's due, and the due date. You also need to know your expense categories. Where do you spend money? Look at the past 3 to 6 months of your spending and categorize how you spend so you know what your expense categories are. What are you saving for? Emergencies, new house, new car. You have to know your numbers in detail for the month. And then we're going to break it down per paycheck. Number 2, write out on a sheet of paper each payday. So if you get paid bi-weekly, paycheck 1, paycheck 2. If you get paid weekly, paycheck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you get paid once a month, paycheck. And you are going to write what that paycheck is. You're going to write how much you get paid for each paycheck, for each bi-weekly, monthly, or weekly. And then number 3, we are going to decide what are we paying with each paycheck. So you have to worry about your bills. You have to worry about your expenses, your gas, your groceries, your eating out, your fun money. And you have to worry about your savings. What are you long-term saving for? So with paycheck number 1, what bills are you paying? With paycheck number 2, what bills are you paying? And then what expense money do you need available? And then bare minimum, if you're paycheck to paycheck, I say you should be saving $10 per paycheck. If you are paycheck to paycheck, you can live without that extra $10 to $20 per month. So bare minimum in your emergency fund, you should be putting $10 per paycheck. But you really need to sit down with a piece of paper and write out what you are paying on what paycheck day. What does each paycheck cover? How are you going to be spending your money? How are you going to be managing your money? That is so freaking important. Number 4, you are going to be divvying up this money in real life. And this is why you want to do this before you get paid. So you focus really heavily on your bills. Now I want you for number 4 to just take a little extra time on your expenses. And you want to make sure that your bills, your expenses do not equate to more than what your monthly income is. Because sometimes for our expenses, we want to give ourselves more money than what we actually have available. So if you make $2,000 per month, every bit of that $2,000 needs a purpose. Okay? So paycheck to paycheck, if you get paid $1,000 every 2 weeks, okay, you know how much it is. So you need to sit down and make sure that your bills and your expenses do not exceed $2,000. If you have more bills and expenses than the $2,000, you can never budget your way out of a deficit. So if you are living paycheck to paycheck because it costs you $2,000 to live and you only make $1,800, you're always going to be $200 behind. You cannot budget your way out of that deficit. You either need to increase your income or decrease what you are spending your money on. Decrease your expenses. So in step 4, you're really just doing this math holistically to make sure that your bills, your expenses, and what you're saving for adds up to that number that you got for your total income. And number 5, make sure you are putting money aside. We talked about $10 per paycheck for savings. If you already committed to a vacation that's happening in December and it's February right now, You need to be saving towards that, because otherwise you're going to find yourself in December not being able to have any spending money, or if you need to buy a flight there or you need to pay for a hotel, you're not going to have the money. You're either going to go into debt, take a loan, or use a credit card if that was not planned. So you want to make sure that anything outside of emergencies, because we're doing $10 for each a paycheck for emergency fund. If there's anything else long term that you're going to be doing this year that you're already committed to, you need to be putting that into your budget as well as savings. So if you're saving for vacation, you're getting a new car, you have a big birthday party planned for your spouse and it's going to cost you $1,000. All of that needs to be in your paycheck to paycheck budget. You should be allocating money to your savings, your expenses, and your bills appropriately so that you can better manage. All right. So again, if you are paycheck to paycheck, you want to make sure you know your numbers. You want to make sure you decide what you're paying with each paycheck. You want to make sure you do the math to total out whatever your monthly income is, all of your bills, your expenses, and your savings equal up to that. What I didn't say is there's no extra money. So if you get paid $2,000 and your bills and expenses equal $1,700, great. You need to allocate that $300. There's no extra money. So you can put more money to savings. You can treat yourself. You can invest. You can pay off some extra debt if you have some. You can put that extra money towards something you're doing later in the year. I don't care. But every dollar needs a purpose. There's no extra money. There's no extra paychecks. You need to make sure that every single dollar that comes in has a purpose. And then you also want to make sure that you are saving appropriately for emergencies, number one, and then anything else that's going to come up for you throughout the year. I really hope that this was helpful for you if you are living paycheck to paycheck. If you are behind, if your bank account is negative, this strategy will still hold true, except you're going to need a little extra money to try to get ahead. So that's when you're going to be looking to see how can you increase your income. What gig work can you do? So if you want to do car gig work, Instacart, Uber Eats, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Shipt, whatever. Or if you want to do in-house gig work, you can look up Upwork and you can look up Fiverr, and you can do things on your computer to make some extra money. You want to be increasing your income so that you can pay your overdraft fees and you can get out of the negative. If you're negative $200 or $300 every single month, you want to be looking at ways to increase that income. Let me know what questions you have about budgeting paycheck to paycheck down in the comments. If you want my help, you want support, you want encouragement, you want my course, you want weekly live trainings on Zoom with me, come join us inside that Money Saving Academy so we can help you save up to $300 every single month. You can sign up at moneysavingacademy.com and use code YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.